Going on, guys? Woo! What's going on, guys? Woo! Beautiful day out here in Pooler, Georgia, about 80 degrees. And if you guys don't know where I am right now, clearly you're new to this channel. For you guys, what's going on? My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. The name of this channel is called Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. And on this channel, besides us being a family and having a ball, I focus on slow speed motorcycle operation. That's what I teach. Between 1 and 10 miles per hour, that's what I focus, because that's the realm of speed that most motorcycle riders are extremely uncomfortable with it. And I'm here to let you know, just going over a few simple things. It's very, very simple, and you're gonna actually enjoy riding this motorcycle way, way more. And on top of that, you're gonna be much, much safer. For my preloaders and V.I.Preloaders, welcome back, guys. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. And you notice, right? By now you should notice. Again, I'm out here in Pooler, Georgia, and this parking lot, this is where I do my thing. I come out here, I practice, I do private lessons out here, I do practice sessions out here, and if that's something that you guys are interested in, just go to my website and click on where it says practice sessions for more information, or click on where it says private lessons to get you set up for that as well. And besides that, guys, I also do product reviews and product installs on all of my motorcycles, and anything that I feel is relevant, I'm always going to share it with you guys. So today I did want to come out here and just do a little bit of practice. You can see I don't have any cones out here. You don't need cones to practice, right? All you need is your motorcycle in an open space, and you can practice, okay? And like I always tell you guys, practice is a state of mind. So if you have time to ride, you have time to practice. So right before your ride, you know, just tell yourself, all right, I'm going to practice making a right turn or a left turn from a stop. You saw me doing that, but I did a U-turn from a stop without me moving forward a lot, basically just letting the motorcycle fall and making the U-turn. But today's video is not going to be about any techniques or anything on the motorcycle. But what it is about is a camera that Insta360 sent me. And I want to share this with you guys. It's an Insta360 ONE RS. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll know that I've already done 2 reviews on the Insta360 ONE X2. I've also done a video on the Insta360 GO 2. And I've done a video on the Insta360 ONE R. Now this is the ONE RS. What's the difference between the ONE RS and the ONE R? Well, it's a faster processor in this camera. It takes 48 megapixel pictures if you're going to use it for stills, and it comes with a nice 4K lens. Let me show it to you guys. All right, guys, so it was too nice of a day for me to be sitting in my garage reviewing this camera. And I figured, you know what, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, come out here, get some practice in, and talk about this camera. But speaking of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, that's kind of the theme for this camera. So anyway, this is the Insta360 ONE RS, as I've stated, and it says Twin Edition. And that's what I'm referring to when I say killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because this is both an action camera, meaning 4K, just shooting straight ahead, just like a GoPro, but it also is a 360 camera. It has an interchangeable lens. This whole camera is modular. So let's talk about that. So here's the setup. This is how it is in the box. And here's the camera. It already has the 4K lens on it. This is actually the camera. This is the lens. Okay. And then here's the other lens. This is the 360 lens, and here's the battery. So let me show you how this works. We'll take this out first. And you can see that's the camera. This is the meat and potatoes of the camera, right? Because there's the screen. It's a little screen. There's a record button up here, power button, and on the side you have a door here, and that's where you're going to plug it in for power, and you can plug some other stuff in we're going to talk about in a second. And this is where the micro SD card goes. Now, again, this is a modular camera. So, see how I can just pull it apart? So again, this is the meat and potatoes. This is where the business is. This is the lens. So if I want to say, I don't want to shoot 4K. I want to shoot 5.7K in 360 degrees because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Then all I have to do is grab this lens. And the thing to remember is, you see these things right here? And we're going to talk about what that's for too. Just push this together. Boom. Now it's a 360 camera. Again, the viewfinder's on this side. And now this is going to catch both sides, actually all around of whatever you're trying to record. The battery, same thing. Look at the bottom. You can see right here, gold pieces right here on the meat and potatoes of it, not the lens. And then you see gold on the bottom of the battery, so there's no mystery. I hope you guys can see that. There's no mystery to which way the battery goes. Click the battery on. Boom. You got a 360 camera, right? Nice and easy. And there's a little button right here. It's not really a button. You slide it across, and that's how you're going to take the battery off. Now, as far as the lens and the meat and potatoes of the camera, they just pull apart. They pull apart. Now, this camera is waterproof up to 16 feet, so that's awesome. And what I'm going to say about this camera, guys, is, again, I want you to go back and watch my other videos, the videos that I did on the Insta360 ONE X2, as well as the one on the Insta360 R, because the functionality of this camera is the same as those. And what I'm referring to is the editing. The editing is done on the Insta360 app, which to me is one of the best parts of the Insta360 cameras, the editing in the app, because it's so simplistic and it's almost endless, the things that you can do. So many things that I don't even use, and the thing that's good about it is it's already embedded in the app. Like if you want to do a certain thing, a certain feature, it actually shows you what it looks like, and then if you want to do it, lets you know step by step what you need to do to make it happen. So you don't even have to be really into this stuff to figure out how to make some amazing footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 4K camera back on, and I'm going to shoot some video out here with this camera. Now let me show you what else comes in the box before I even talk about that, because if you look at this, you might be thinking, well, it's nice, it's compact, but how am I going to, what am I going to connect this to? How am I going to put it on a selfie stick? All right. So in the box, we also have this box. And of course, there's a power cord in there. But this is what you really want. This is what we're going to put the camera inside of. Little red button, press that. This comes open. And we can just slide the camera right in, close it up. And now we have this piece on the bottom. So clearly, if you want to connect it to something, we all know how these things work. You put this thing on here. You put your right foot in, you put your left foot out, and you shake it all about. You know, and then you just put this thing on, and, you know, and you're good to go. So, more good news. Now, again, this thing fits whether you're using the 360 lens or the 4K lens. Now, here's some other good news. So, like I said, there's all kind of accessories that you can use with this camera. This right here is an accessory shoe. So if you want to use this camera and you want to attach a cordless mic to it, like I have right here, and right now the receiver to my mic is on my my mount that's holding my iPhone. But if I want to use this, okay, remember the holes I told you about on the top? Okay, we use it for that. Clicks right on. There's a little button on the side too to release it. So now if I want to put the microphone on here, all I gotta do is slide it right on there. It goes right on. So let's try that out. I'm gonna put it on an Insta360 invisible selfie stick. And it's called invisible because the stick is not going to show in your frame. And it's not going to show because the sides of the camera, that's the blind spot. And that's where the stick is lined up with, right? And what this camera does is the technology in the camera, it stitches the pictures together. And that's why if you look closely in some shots, you will see a slight stitch line. For me, it's not a big deal. And at the end of the day, if it's something that you're really concerned about, what you're mainly planning on recording, make sure the camera's facing it instead of it being like this, because then it's going to be a stitch line. But that's not relevant here because I'm using the 4K lens. So, all right, let's check it out. All right, guys, so here's the view using the 4K lens on the Insta360 ONE RS camera. What do you think, guys? I think it looks pretty good. And I know this camera has great stabilization, so let's get it on the handlebars and I'll do a quick lap around the parking lot, do a couple of U-turns, and we'll see what it looks like from that vantage point. All right, so what I will say here, guys, is I have the camera mounted on the handlebars. So of course, every time I turn or I lean, the camera's going to turn and lean. Now there is a feature on this camera where it will stay even with the horizon if you set it to do so. Clearly I don't have it set this way, and that's why you can see it leaning. Some shots you might want that, other shots you might not. Now, in my opinion, I like the 360 lens best, especially when I'm riding a motorcycle, because I don't want to miss anything. And with the camera facing forward, or some people have it facing them, that's why people use more than one camera, so they can go back and forth as far as the angle. It's a lot more work too when you're editing. However, with the 360 camera, you're not going to miss anything. You can show yourself and then spin the camera around and show whatever you want to see, look on the sides. But it's important to know also that sometimes you might want to use the 4K camera because you want a crisper picture. Now with the 360 camera, you can still get a crisp picture. However, when you zoom the camera in, you are going to lose some quality in the picture. The best quality, that 5.7K, that's going to be with the camera pretty much almost always zoomed out. And you don't want it all the way zoomed out either for the entire duration of your recording. Okay, here's a shot of what this camera looks like with the adapter on it and with the shoe on it so that I can hold my Rode Wireless 2 receiver on the camera, as well as the adapter plugged into the side of the camera, and that's what it's plugged into. So it's a good setup, nice and easy, and you won't have any problems hooking up anything that you need to hook up to it as far as a wireless microphone. All right, guys, also, this is the little door that was covering the area where the SD card goes, the micro SD card, and the plug. You have to remove that in order to get this on. But, you know, nice and easy. It comes off. There's the opening. And you can just, if you want, just stick that back on, which of course you're going to want to do if you're taking this underwater. Again, this thing is waterproof up to 16 feet. So pretty cool stuff, man. I mean, like I said, depending on the shot you want to get, like if I had the camera on my motorcycle doing a 360, I'm not going to get the same shot I can get as I can like this with the 360 camera. And I think we can agree that's an awesome, awesome shot. So each lens is going to give you an advantage depending on what you're doing. So do I recommend the Insta360 ONE RS? Well, I'm going to say yes and no. Here's what I mean. If you don't have an Insta360 camera, I recommend it. If you have a, let's say, an action camera, a GoPro camera, but you don't have an Insta360 camera, I recommend it. If you have a 360 camera, but you don't have a 4K type camera, I recommend it. If you have a 360 camera that you like now, and you have an action camera that you like, then I don't recommend it because you don't really need it. Unless you just want to spend money, right? Or you want something extra. And that's key too, because if you do recording and stuff a lot, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need more than one of pretty much everything you have, just in case something happens. So this camera is about 550 bucks, right? It's around 550 bucks. Now let's not forget everything that you're getting. You're getting the case that goes on this. You're getting, but more importantly, forget about the case. You're getting 2 lenses, right? You have a modular camera that you can just switch. Now that's huge for 550 bucks. Now compare that to like a GoPro Hero 10. I think that camera alone is about 500 bucks. Now that camera doesn't come with the case that this thing, that camera goes in, that's separate. But forget about the case again, forget about the accessories. That's one option, shooting straight ahead, right? This, 2 options. So if you have a 360 camera already and you're looking to get something to just shoot straight ahead, the reason why I say get this is because now you not only get a 4K camera for action, but you also have that backup. Now you have 2 360 cameras, the one you already had, plus this one in addition. So you guys see where I'm going. If you try to buy an action camera and a 360 camera and you're gonna need accessories, you're gonna be well over $1,000. 550 bucks approximately for this camera that does all of those things in one. All right, guys, so to me, that's a no-brainer. You've already seen the kind of shots you can get with it. I love it. It works for me, and more importantly, the editing, because I don't care how good a camera works as far as how it shoots and how it looks. If it's a pain in the butt to edit it, I'm not gonna want to use it, and I think that's true for most of us. So guys, I could talk to you about this all day. I encourage you to watch other videos too, because there's a bunch of them out there reviewing this camera. But do your due diligence. Go to the website. I'll put it right here. Read up on everything. The website's excellent, by the way, too. Excellent website, full of information and full of videos to show you what this camera is capable of. Check that out. Do your due diligence. And I think that you're going to be highly, highly impressed with what you see. So yes, I am going to put a link in the description section for you guys to get this camera. And if you're interested in any other Insta360 cameras, like the ONE X2 or the GO 2, I'll put links for those in the description section as well. All right, guys. So anyway, that's going to do it for my review of this Insta360 ONE R2. Excellent camera. Very easy to use. And I highly, highly recommend it. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you enjoy anything that I do, please hit the subscribe button. It helps out my channel. And don't forget to share it and hit the notification bell, guys. Switch it to all so you don't miss anything coming from this wonderful, wonderful channel. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you spending time with me. I know there's anything you could be doing with your time, and the fact that you choose to spend a little bit of it with me, that's always appreciated. Sending a special shout out to my brothers and sisters in blue. Please be careful out there, guys, and know that you're appreciated. Special shout out to the elite NYPD Highway Patrol, particularly Highway 1, because that's where I worked. And the motorcycle district, that's where the school is. That's who taught me how to ride these motorcycles the way I ride them, guys. But like I always tell you guys, this is a perishable skill. I didn't have everything I needed when I graduated motorcycle school. That was up to me to continue to practice, and that's what I did. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I said it earlier in this video, I'm gonna say it again. If you have time to ride, you have time to practice. And seat time does not equal practice time. So practice, 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 guys. Preload and keep it loaded. Until next time.